Module 2 focuses on the planning functions of HR management. How do we plan for the needs of a specific business, and how do we meet those needs when they arise? There are 3 steps in HR planning: job analysis, job description, and job specification. In job analysis, this is the step where before we figure out who we need to hire, we need to figure out what we're hiring for. And in order to do this, we gather detailed information about the jobs in our organization. Job analysis is the process of analyzing a particular job for the difficulty, frequency, and importance of work activities. What are the tasks, duties, knowledge that's needed for these jobs to be done effectively? And unless we can do this, we can't identify a strong applicant. Once we've done this, we're able to create a job description. This is created from that information that we just gathered in the job analysis. The job description outlines tasks, duties, responsibilities, working conditions, and activities of a job. This is valuable as a business owner because now I know what type of knowledge, skills, and abilities are needed. From an applicant's side, they can form an opinion as to if this job is a good fit for them. We want applicants to apply for a job that they feel they'll be a good fit for. Turnover is very expensive, and a detailed and accurate job description narrows the field and weeds out those who aren't a good fit. Our final step is job specification, and this produces the knowledge, skills, and abilities, also known as the SKA, that a qualified applicant should possess to perform the job effectively. It helps the interviewer screen and filter resumes, and it also signals to the workforce what you want and filters out those people who do not meet the minimum qualifications. Now let's talk about job design for a little bit. As organizations grow and develop, job designs need to be reviewed. Often employees are ineffective in aspects of their job because the job design itself is weak. Typically, job design failures occur by organizations combining too many tasks into a single position. The restaurant and hospitality industry is notorious for this practice, largely because of the need to balance rising and falling periods of busyness. When a job design is modified, it usually occurs in one of the 3 techniques: job simplification, job enlargement, enrichment, and rotation. Job simplification looks at the most basic level of the task completed. Job enlargement is the process of broadening a job to include additional tasks that require similar skills and abilities. So we're not looking to add something that we need to train somebody to do. We're just adding something that they already know how to do, but now they have another element to their job. Job enrichment assigns tasks that essentially give the employee a break from mundane tasks. If you have a very routine stocking job, for example, where you're just stacking things on shelves, maybe we're going to enrich your job by having you go to a different part of the building for a little while and do something else. We're trying to make the mundane tasks more engaging so that you're more committed to quality work. Job rotation requires cross-training. So an example would be a bus person cross-trained to deliver room service orders. In our next lecture, we're going to highlight some of the tools that we can use in management to identify employees who would be ideal candidates for job rotating or job cross-training. Last but not least, I wanted to briefly introduce you to the concept of forecasting. In the food and beverage industry, we need to anticipate how many employees we should schedule to work various shifts. The 2 most common methods of forecasting are trend line forecasting and moving average forecasting. Trend line forecasting is effective for established businesses, but it simply involves graphing a past sales to predict future sales. Unfortunately, trend line forecasting is a pretty rigid tool, and it does not take into account many unique events such as festival weekends or an extended period of foul weather. A moving average forecast tends to give us more accurate numbers because it does include what may be an anomaly in our past sales. A moving average is an average of set number of periods as it moves through time. If our business uses a moving average of 4 weeks, then we are simply averaging the past 4 weeks of sales to predict the next week's sales. This is called a moving average because it moves along in time with us. So let's look at an example. This is the Fine Flounder restaurant, and it uses a 4-week moving average to forecast dinner covers. What is our forecast for week 8? So I'll repeat that. They use a 4-week moving average to forecast dinner covers. What is the forecast for week 8? I'd like you to put me on pause and just calculate this and make sure you're on track with how to accurately do this. Once you've figured out the forecast for week 8, go ahead and play me again and find out the answer. This should be your answer. Your answer should have been 281. It actually worked out to be a fraction in there, but I just rounded. So what I did is I took the 4-week average. We took weeks 7, 6, 5, and 4. We added them together. That gave us 1,125, and we're dividing it by the number of periods, 4. So in this case, we could anticipate that week 8 would have 281 covers. Now what if we use this moving average, the same data, but if we used a 3-week moving average? What would our answer be? If you had trouble with finding this 4-week average, put me on pause and calculate the 3-week. The 3-week average would be 283 covers. We're looking at weeks 7, 6, and 5, the last 3 weeks, and we're dividing them by 3. So we get 283. As you can tell, if we were doing a 7-week average, we would use all these numbers and so on and so forth. But you can see that if we had a very extreme number, if we had 450 in 1 week, it would average out over time, and it would be more effective than other methods of forecasting. This concludes our lecture for Module 2, so please be sure to complete all elements for Module 2 before the deadline of Wednesday at 11:45 p.m. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.